What's up everybody? Welcome back to Unparalleled Universe for another action figure review, and today we're taking a look at the brand new NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Casey Jones and Slashed Foot Soldier 2-pack. And heck yes, I'm so pumped up about this set. I've been going to my local Target every single day for the last week. I've been having other people go to Target for me. My sister hit up a couple of Targets. My wife has been going to Target. We've been hunting for this thing hardcore, and you know, it's been one of those things where like we go in, we ask employees like, hey, have you seen these? But you know, we have a DPCI number, but it won't show up in your system, but we've heard they're in the back, so they just kind of look at you like an asshole, and you know, they kind of help you, but not really. You never really know if they actually look for the stuff. We've been doing all that kind of crazy stuff this week, and you know, have come up with nothing. But then Saturday afternoon, I walked into Target, not really expecting it to be there, but just thought I would try real quick. I wasn't going to talk to any employees. I was just going to run in, check, and run out, and bam, there Casey Jones was on the shelf. And then I also got Metalhead too, so I'll be reviewing that pretty soon. But yeah, I'm so excited. So everybody out there that's going crazy looking for this figure, just be patient, keep checking your Target, don't go overpay. I know it's kind of hard to resist sometimes, like you just want to get the figures and you don't want to go through the hassle. I get it, but you know, don't pay $150. I saw this thing go for $150 on Macari. That's crazy. Just keep checking Targets. These things are still coming out, so you know, there's still a chance to get them at retail. So good luck to everybody trying to get this, but let's go ahead and get into the review. So first off, we have this awesome looking packaging. It's very reminiscent of the whole feel of the old school animated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle show, so I really like it. You're able to see both of the figures. You can see all the accessories. We have some cool artwork right here. Look at Casey Jones looking all crazy. And then on the side, we get a look at the foot soldier that's kind of ripped in half. On the back, we get a look at the other figures that came out. These two actually came out recently, the April O'Neil and Foot Soldier set, and then the Leatherhead and Slash. I can't wait to get those two, especially the Slash set. That looks really good. And then Bebop and Rocksteady have been out for like, I don't know, 6 months or something like that. And then damn, look at this big old biography here, but it's just about the Turtles. It's not really so much about Casey Jones, but you know, that's okay. At least there's some information there. And I think that's about it for the packaging. It is collector friendly, so if you really want to, you could take the figures out and then put them back in the box as you please. But enough about the packaging. Let's go ahead and rip these figures out and take a look. And here we have Casey Jones and the battle damaged foot soldier right out of the box, and these things look absolutely incredible. But just like with every other NECA figure, you have to be very careful once you pull these things out and start messing with them, because there could be fragile joints, there could be weak pegs, there could be stuck paint, there could be all kinds of things going on that could cause you to break your figures. So it's always my advice that you soak NECA figures in hot water if possible. That way it could free up the joints and then you could move the figures freely. And even sometimes that doesn't always work. Like I had the NECA Alpha Predator, his legs were kind of stuck. I soaked them in water and they still broke off eventually. I was able to return it and get a new one, so it worked out. But yeah, like with these guys, with Casey Jones specifically, I had a lot of stuck joints, things that were making me kind of nervous, but then I put them in hot water, let them soak. I was patient with it, and the next thing you know, the joints freed up, and now he's good to go. So I'm very happy so far, but look at this thing, man. It looks so perfect. They did such a great job with it. Just look at like the animated paint style they have going on. It's just, man, it's so well done. So they did a great job on it. And then we have the foot soldier over here, which if you already have the other foot soldiers, then you know what to expect for the most part. But I really like the way they did the battle damage thing. At first, I was very curious as to how like the one little bar here was going to hold up the upper half of the figure. But it turns out that it seems like it's a metal bar in there, so you could actually bend it a little bit. But you do need to be careful, because I've already heard of somebody breaking theirs somehow, and I'm not sure exactly where it broke, but you know, it still broke. So you need to be very careful. But yeah, it's a metal bar in there, and it's pretty strong. It's like strong enough to support the weight of the figure. So that's good stuff. And with him, I didn't really have too many like stuck joints. Only the waist was stuck. But then I hit it with the blow dryer and it freed up. So there we go. We're all good with this guy too. But yeah, they look awesome, and I'm very happy to report with these ones, I didn't have any problems as far as QC issues go. So I'm happy with them right out of the box here. And very quickly taking a look at the details on the foot soldier, you can see that the face is sculpted very nice. He does have those animated effect lines. We have the foot soldier logo right in the center of his forehead. We've got the yellow eyes, and he does have that two-tone color to give it more of that animated kind of feel. So I do like that. But again, no surprises here. If you've already seen this figure, or you already have the ones that came in the 2-pack, then you know what to expect. But right here is obviously where it gets different. You can see all the mechanics on the inside there. And as I mentioned, this is like a metal bar, I guess you could call it, like a piece of metal that's holding this figure up. So I like the way they did that, but I am afraid that if I bend it too much or too often that it could snap. And you know, that's kind of, it is how it is. I'm not sure how else they could have done it. If they just would have put like a solid piece of plastic, then you know, it would have been stuck in place. But yeah, I don't know. It's a cool little thing though. I do like the way this worked out. So check out all the mechanics in there. There's a lot of good stuff going on, a lot of cool colors. So this is cool. I like this little battle damaged foot soldier. And then down in here we have more animated lines. We have these soft plastic, I don't know what you want to call this, like a skirt. I guess it's not a skirt, it's just like an extension of his his suit, I mean his shirt or whatever. But yeah, this all looks good. Again, we have the two-tone color here. Sorry if it's a little difficult to see because of the purple background, but you know, it is what it is. We got to keep the purple there. But yeah, you know, these are very well sculpted, but again, no surprises here. Let's get to the star of the show. Bam! Casey Jones, look at that. Oh man, I really like this. Check out that awesome looking head sculpt with his hockey mask. Mine was a little, like the paint wasn't as clean as it could have been in the mouth area. You could see there's a little bit of black kind of, it looks like it missed the little spaces in there, but not by much. It's, you know, it doesn't look bad at all. It's just something I noticed when I was inspecting it. But the face does look really good. I like how they made the eyes like a slightly different color. It's not just black, but it's outlined in black. So that looks good. Then we have the hair. The hair is very smooth and very cartoon-like. We have the red straps that wrap around the head. Then moving down into the body, I just love these animated looks. Every time I review a NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figures, I obsess over these lines because it's such a cool little trick to make it look animated. And it works very well for Casey Jones here. And then we have the two-tone skin here where it's like darker back here and then it gets lighter in the front. Again, just to enhance that animated look. But the sculpting work on this is really well done. And the shirt is, it's like its own piece of plastic. It's not really like soft plastic or anything like that. Looks like it's its own sculpt. Yeah, it's its own sculpt. It's not like an overlay covering like a chest piece. It's its own sculpt. But that looks good. Check out the shoulder pad here with some more line work in there. This piece here looks like it's glued down right there, so that's cool. You don't have to worry about it floating around, but it still kind of sits natural there. It's glued right here in the front too. But yeah, really good. He got his crop top going, and you can see some more lines on the stomach there. This is like a soft piece of plastic. I sometimes get worried that if I'm messing with the figure carelessly that I might like knock this off or something, but it's been okay so far. The pants look really good. Again, man, I just love these black lines. They look so good. Then down into the feet. Got his big green shoes. They kind of look like Goofy shoes. But they look very well done. Got the laces on there. It looks really nice. Let's check out the arms here. Check out his gloves. And the wrist wraps. Some more black lines. And yeah, very well done. The sculpting work and the overall look of this figure is like perfectly executed. And that's about it. But yeah, this is a really good looking Casey Jones figure. Once again, I love all the black lines. They do so much to enhance the look, that animated feel that they were going for. And like I said, it's just a cool little trick. But overall, this is an incredible looking figure. They did a great job with this one. And for accessories, both figures come with a bunch of really good stuff, but let's go ahead and start off with the foot soldier. First off, he has multiple sets of hands. We have a pair of fists, and then we have a set of flat open hands, and then we have another set of open hands. I guess we could just call these like loose open hands. And then he does have a set of gripping hands, but he doesn't come with the set of trigger finger hands, which is kind of strange because he does come with two very cool looking guns. And I think that we've seen these guns before. I can't be 100% sure, but I think that they released these guns previously with either the Foot Soldiers or Bebop and Rocksteady or something like that. These things look very familiar. Let me know in the comments if you know, because I'm not 100% sure. And then he does come with two ninja stars. One of them is orange and one of them is gray. And the final accessory for the Foot Soldier is the little communicator, which is really cool because this time around we have Rocksteady on the display screen. And taking a closer look at the weapons, starting off with the weaker stuff. Here we have the ninja stars, and nothing special going on here really. And then next up we have the communicator. As I mentioned, you can see Rocksteady on the display there. So it's cool to have like a bunch of these communicators with different faces and stuff on them. And then here's one of the guns. This gun I'm sure came with Bebop and Rocksteady, and it actually came in that Comic-Con set. So I'm pretty sure we've seen this gun. Personally, I don't think I have this one. I don't think it's new to this set, but I know that I don't have it. Like I said, let me know in the comments what's the deal with these guns, if we've seen them before. But I'm happy to have this one since it's new to me. I think that's pretty cool, but I like the cartoonish look to it. It looks very cool. I just wish that he came with trigger finger hands so that he could hold these without any problem. You can get him to hold them now, but it's in, it's in that weird gripping hand, so it's not like his fingers on the trigger or anything. But yeah, these guns are very well done, and I like the animated feel to them. And Casey Jones does come with a bunch of really cool stuff too, but he only came with 3 different sets of hands. The foot soldier came with 4 different sets. But Casey does come with a pair of fists, and then he also has a set of hands where the left side has a thumbs up and the right side has a pointer finger. And the final set of hands would be a set of gripping hands, and these could be used to hold on to all his different weapons. And speaking of his weapons, he comes with a bunch of really cool stuff. First off, we have a baseball bat, and then we have a hockey stick, and then we have a goalie stick, and then he has a sledgehammer, which is pretty savage. And then for this last thing, I'm not even sure what this is, but it looks like it could do some damage, so that's cool. And all of these weapons can naturally fit into the golf bag that he comes with. And taking a closer look at Casey's weapons, starting off with this thing because I have no idea what it is. It does look cool, and it definitely looks like he could do some damage with it, but I just don't know what it's called. It has like a little lip here at the end, and then like this crisscross design all over it. But yeah, I don't know what this is. Let me know. Feel free to enlighten me. And then here we have the hockey stick, which, man, I love this. Again, the black lines. I'm sorry, guys, but I just love these black lines, especially when they put them on the weapons too. It's awesome. I like how it's like a consistent like thing with these figures. It's so cool. And then here we have the sledgehammer. It looks very cool and cartoonish. Nothing going on the handle, but the head looks cool. Bam. And then here we have the goalie stick, or the goaltender stick. Again, very cartoonish kind of look. Then last but not least, we have the baseball bat. It's wrapped right here on the handle part, and then up here it's just smooth. And then check out the details on the golf bag. Got some more animation type of lines in there, and it's soft plastic. It looks really, really nice. And I really love the way that Casey Jones looks with the golf bag on. And the cool thing about this is that it's very soft plastic, so you are able to fit all the weapons into the actual bag itself. So I think that's cool. You don't have to worry about misplacing the weapons or anything. They could stay with the figure, so that's always a good thing. And then now for some size comparisons, we have Casey Jones and the Battle Damage Foot Soldier alongside the NECA Animated Series Raphael and Foot Soldier. And it's kind of interesting here because I knew that the Battle Damage Foot Soldier was going to be taller because of that big gash in the torso. But it also seems like his legs may be a little bit longer because the waist cut ends up a little higher than it does on the regular release. Or maybe there's something going on here that's a little bit different that gives him a little bit more height. It doesn't really matter. It's okay if he's a little taller because he's battle damaged anyway, so he's going to be all jacked up. But yeah, that was kind of interesting that the lower legs came out a little taller than they did on the standard release. And then over here, I think that Casey Jones looks really good next to Raphael, so I like the size there. And then next up, we have them alongside the NECA Animated Series version of Shredder and the NECA video game version of Slash. And then now here we have Casey Jones and the Foot Soldier alongside their movie counterparts. And then next up we have Casey Jones and the Foot Soldier alongside the SH Figure Arts Donatello and the NECA Krang. And then now here we have them alongside the Super 7 Toxie from Toxic Crusaders. And then on the opposite side we have the Marvel Legends Warpath from the Strong Guy Build-A-Figure Wave. And then next up we have them alongside the NECA Rocksteady and Bebop. And to finish off the size comparisons, we have Casey Jones and the Foot Soldier alongside the Marvel Legends Bucky Cap and Marvel Legends Pizza Spider-Man. And for the articulation, let's go ahead and get the Foot Soldier out of the way. If you collect this line already, then you know exactly what to expect from the articulation on this figure, but let's go ahead and cover it for those of you that don't. So first off, the head is on a little ball joint, so it does move side to side. It rotates. He could look up to about right there, and then he could look down to right there. And what little torso he has doesn't really have any articulation other than a waist swivel. So that'll work. And then like I said before, this is a little bendy wire in here. So I guess you could kind of consider this articulation. I'm not going to push it as far as it'll go. I don't want that little metal bar to snap on me. But you can move it a pretty good amount. Look at that. It's pretty good. But yeah, I'd be very careful. This metal bar kind of makes me nervous. And then for the arms, we have ball jointed shoulders, and the shoulders on these figures are very tight. So let's see here. I can only get mine to about right there, and then on this side it barely moves up at all, so that kind of sucks. But yeah, it could go up to about right there. Then he has upper bicep swivel. He has double jointed elbows, which are pretty good. And then let's see here, he has a swivel at the wrist and a hinge at the wrist. It's kind of tight, but there's a hinge there. And then for the legs, we have ball joints at the hips. And let's see here, they can't really go to the side all that much because his little skirt piece. I know it's not a skirt, but you guys know what I mean. Luckily, there's slits on the side, so actually, it really doesn't hinder the articulation much at all. So look at that. That's pretty good. Can he do the splits? Oh yeah, cool. So this little piece gets all the way out of the way, so that's dope. And then he could bring his leg up to about right there. You could bring him back to right there. And then he has upper thigh swivel, double jointed knee. He has a swivel at the lower leg, and then a little ball joint at the ankle, which allows for some swivel, a little bit of side to side. He could go forward to about right there, come up to right there, and then he has a toe hinge. So yeah, these foot soldiers have some pretty good articulation. I just wish the shoulders worked a little bit better. But yeah, for the most part, I think the articulation is pretty nice on the foot soldier. And then let's go ahead and take a look at Casey Jones. And this figure has a lot of nice articulation. He's actually a little bit more posable than I was expecting, so I was happy to see that. But they did one thing here that I think is kind of ridiculous. It's a piece of articulation that they left out that I feel they didn't really have to. And I'll let you know what point of articulation I'm talking about when I get there. But yeah, I think the articulation on this guy is pretty good. But let's go ahead and get into it. So the head does move side to side. It's got some pretty nice tilt to it because it's on a little ball joint in there. It could go up only to about right there, so not very much. It could come down to right there. But yeah, the head movement is pretty good. I just kind of wish, I mean, it would be nice if you could look up a little bit more, but, you know, it's fine. I guess the hair would get in the way anyways. So the head articulation's good. And then he does have a mid-torso cut, which can't bend forward all that much. It can only bend forward to about right there, but it does move side to side. It rotates. I kind of wish they put another ball joint at the waist. Instead, they just have a flat like waist swivel, so you don't get any additional movement out of that. I think if they would have put a ball joint at the waist, he would have been able to crunch forward a little bit more. But as is, I'm fine with it. I think it's okay. And then for the arms, we do have ball jointed shoulders that go all the way around. Obviously, this side is not going to go all the way around because he has his shoulder pad, but you can bring his arm up a pretty good amount without damaging the shoulder pad. So that's good. You know, that's not too bad at all. And then it comes back to about right there. And it comes all the way out to the side with no issue. So that's good. And you could see that his arms could come up to about right there. And then he has upper bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, which are pretty good, but the bicep kind of gets in the way. And then he has a swivel at the wrist and a hinge at the wrist. Again, the hinge is pretty tight, but it's definitely there. And for the legs, they come all the way out to the side. I really like the way they did the legs here. It kind of reminds me of like import figures. And it seems like there's very little risk of these pegs breaking. So I really like the way they did that. And then his leg can go forward to about right there. It could come back to about right there. And I really like how there's a soft plastic overlay that covers the hip joints. I think that's dope. And then we do have an upper thigh swivel, double jointed knees. The knees on mine were a little funny until I soaked them in hot water and then they moved freely. And then at the lower leg is where I'm kind of surprised what we have going on here, because there is no lower leg swivel. And there's all kinds of little lines and things like that right here. They could have hidden that in there seamlessly. So I don't know why there's no lower leg swivel. That's really unfortunate. I think that's a very poor choice, especially given the design. It would have worked in there perfectly with no issues. So that's very strange. But the feet can go forward to about right there, and then they could come up to about right there, and then he does have rocking ankles. So, you know, like I said, he's got some good articulation, and you could definitely get him into some really cool poses, and he's a lot of fun to play with, so that's definitely a plus. But I'm just surprised that at the way they did the ankles. I think that's very strange, but for the most part, I'm very happy with the articulation on this guy. Alright, so overall, I really like this set. I think that both figures are very well done. And obviously, Casey Jones is the star of the show, but I do think that the Foot Soldier is pretty cool too. And I like that they did something different here because they've already released Foot Soldiers several times. They've given us multiple opportunities to buy them. So I appreciate the fact that they did something different here because they could have just thrown in another Foot Soldier with Casey Jones. And I mean, it's an army builder, yeah, but it would kind of suck to be forced to buy something that we already have in order to get an essential character. So I like that they changed it up a little bit and made things interesting, and this is all very cool. I think it's very well done, and this Foot Soldier is gonna lend itself to a lot of really interesting shots, so I do appreciate that, and I look forward to getting the one that comes with April O'Neil. But as far as Casey Jones goes, this thing is damn near perfect. I can't think of any huge flaws with it. The only thing I'm a little disappointed in is the fact that he doesn't have a lower foot swivel. I think that's really strange because they could have stuffed it in there with no problem at all. Aside from that, there's like no flaws. And to be honest, I can't remember every exact detail of the old school Casey Jones toy or the way that he looked in the animated series, but the way that I see him in my mind is perfectly represented by this figure. So that makes me very happy. And the articulation, aside from the ankle thing, is really good. So he's fun to pose around and mess with, and I just love the figure's design. I especially like these black lines that give him that animated feel. I think that is so dope. They've been doing that on pretty much all of their animated series stuff, but I just really like it. It's like a cool trick to sell that animated look, and I love that it carries over to the accessories and the weapons, so it's just really cool. But yeah, this is a good set. I would have preferred that Casey Jones came with April O'Neil. I think that would have made more sense, but it is what it is. I get it. They want to try to sell some of these Foot Soldier figures, so it's all right. In any case, I would have bought a 2-pack with some Foot Soldiers, and I would have bought the 2-pack with Casey Jones and April O'Neil, but it kind of sucks to have to be forced to buy it in this way, but it's fine, you know, it's all good. Like I said, I do like the set, especially Casey Jones, and I'm very happy to finally have this. But yeah, be careful with your NECA figures. Like I said at the beginning, make sure to loosen up the joints, maybe run it into like some hot water or a blow dryer or whatever method you prefer, but just do something to free up the joints. And another thing too is try not to succumb to the scalper prices that are out there. People are selling this set for like a ridiculous amount, so just be patient and just keep looking at your local Target. These things should be popping up, and hopefully they stick around for a while so everybody has the opportunity to buy them without having to pay too much over retail. I mean, sometimes you have to do what you got to do, but you know, try to pay close to retail for these figures. But yeah, NECA's killing it with the turtle stuff. I do wish that they would fix their distribution, but it sounds like they're working on that. But they also need to fix their QC. Luckily, I didn't have any QC issues, but I know somebody that picked up this set and their Casey Jones had a bunch of QC issues. So that's very unfortunate. Hopefully he could get that worked out. But anyways, I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Also, be sure to hit the bell notification because I realized recently that a lot of people aren't getting notified when I go live, and I think it's maybe because they haven't hit the bell notification. The week that was supposed to be Comic-Con 2020 was an awesome week for me. I would have much preferred to be at Comic-Con, but I had a great time doing all these lives with a bunch of guests and having a bunch of fun, like some people in the community and even some people outside of the community that had an interesting perspective on comics and toys and stuff. So all of that was a lot of fun, but it kind of, you know, it's a little bittersweet because I realized that a lot of people missed out on that stuff because they weren't being notified. So be sure to click that bell icon so that you know when I go live. And I do plan to continue to have interesting guests, so it's a lot of cool stuff to look forward to, so you don't want to miss out, so hit that bell notification. But anyways, I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching the review, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Peace.